As the pace car rolls off here for the Doublemint Cup Series round at SUAR, well, we'll just call it Canada actually. Tommy Turbo qualified on the pole here for the number 95 Chevrolet. JT Bryan is outside, green flag in the air. We are racing here at SUAR. 3 wide already, action down on the bottom lane there. Looks like Ryder Barnes already getting on the charge. Mike Huck trying to get up to the top 5 already. As you can see, the field already trying to scatter themselves here. Down this long straightaway here, we have a massive wide track here, just as big as Auto Club in terms of width. As you see a lot of the field trying to get themselves settled down on lap number 1. And a good start for Tommy Turbo in the number 95. And looks like we've got trouble there. Kyle Matthews spinning the car around. Andy Thomas collecting, and that collects Theo Stegall and the Twin Ring Motegi winner of Vince Freeze, as well as the Kansas winner. The 2-time winner in the series already in some trouble. Caution is out. Both Stegall and Andy Thomas are destroyed. Kyle Matthews involved in another wreck this season. He has not really caught a break so far, as the field's going to get themselves settled down here for the first caution today. Something happened there. JT Bryan bounced off the wall. Kyle Matthews tried to check up. Andy Thomas was a bystander there, gets clipped on the right rear of the number 23, right into the path of Theo Stegall, nowhere to go. And Vince Freeze gets piled up in there as well. The 23 gets some good air, but pretty much an end to both Stegall and Andy Thomas's races already here on lap number 2 of the race so far. Not what they wanted to anticipate here today. And coming back to the green flag here, one to go signal out. It is still Tommy Turbo's race here to lead over Ryder Barnes and number 3, 38, and 41. That's your top 5 here. Green flag back in the air. Mike Huck trying to go on the outside lane there. Jonathan Rains going to the bottom with Kev Shear, Jonathan Zorlin, Jesse Turner way up high in the marbles there. In the Crown Royal machine, there you see Audrey Baranowskis and Jessica Emery also trying to get themselves in the mix here in the top 10. Already some aggressive racing. Hendrick teammates of both Cody Lamas and Jonathan Zorlin. Zorlin's actually been on a climb in the point standings. At some point in the season, he was actually way further down, and with the consistent runs he's gotten, he could make the chase here, and this could be fundamental for Team Hendrick. 3 wide action near the back. Charles Sanford, William Brock, Jeremy Jones, and that's actually make it 4 wide. Jack James tried to squeeze the issue there. Excuse me, that Vince Freeze was not the winner at Kansas. He won at a different racetrack there, so my apologies. Jack James won the Kansas race. As he's down pit lane, Vince Freeze not really having a good run for the 31 team. Vince Freeze was actually one of the more recent winners there, but Tommy Turbo holding a massive gap over Kev Shear at the track here. Actually, Vince Freeze won the Kentucky race there, just to clarify information there. Chris Dodd climbing his way up into the top 10 here, trying to take 9th away from Jesse Turner. Turner's going to fight strong on the outside line there. There you see Richard Johnson of the Wood Brothers machine. Also up, trying to get up into that top 10 as well. The high side, not that bad here at the Speedway, but not really the best line you want to be in turns 1 and 2 especially, because that is the more dominant line. You see Johnson going 3 wide there, decides to back off. As right now, Tommy Turbo holding really a commanding gap over Kev Shear. And in the battle, really not much of a battle from here on, except near the back with Charles Sanford and William Brock. Brock trying to climb his way up. He hasn't had a good season so far. Dylan Schwalmberg, the winner at Watkins Glen, trying to prove that he's not just a road course ringer here, and he's trying to get up there as well. So Dylan Schwalmberg looking pretty solid on the order right now. Some good 3 wide action near the back. Joey Murphy trying to press each there. Pat Johnson way up in the marbles there. At 11 car definitely finding some handling issues on his Joe Gibbs machine and the number 11 FedEx Office Toyota there. So looks like they're not finding the best of runs here. Jeffrey Finguy running near the back of the field there. I kind of like mentioning him a lot. Cody Lamas in the red vest Lowe's Chevrolet. He's been running good in that paint scheme itself. They always find themselves in a good position to get a potential win here. And they've only got 1 win this season. Cody Lamas is currently in the chase, and he's pretty good in the point standings right now. So, as Mike Hawk continue to impress the crowd so far, this 3 car, they found some speed in the RCR boot. Rancho Cucamonga just won the Pocono race for their campaign down in the Xfinity Series, so Rancho moving down, to focus on more of the lower tier tracks, and he found some success there. He won a Cup race, he's now won an Xfinity race, as Mike Hawk just trying to find some success here in the racetrack here. Chris Dodd fighting on the outside there for 9th. It's still been kind of heated up between Turner and Chris Dodd. And Dodd's made his own team. They're actually quite successful here. The 95 running pretty good up in the grid. Currently your race leader, but Kev Shearer actually has reeled in that number 95, that 41 car. They've also found some speed with the substitute here. Kev Shearer doing an impressive job for the Haas racing machine. Looks like Team Penske hasn't found their stride here at the Canadian racetrack. Dylan Young and JT Bryant. JT Bryant started on the outside pole and he's dropped way in the back. He hit the wall early on lap 2. That's also why he's back there, so that doesn't really help. The 22 of Johnny Gardner, they're kind of struggling with the car, but they're not running too badly right now. They're actually looking inside the top 15 at the moment for Team Penske. There's Seth Cole in the picture there. He's pretty high up in the point standings. The Vegas winner looking very happy with his race car, but he knows he could have a better race car maybe near the end of this run here. But Kev Shearer and Tommy Turbo have checked away from the rest of the pack here. They are just very strong in the grid order. There's O'Neal Baldwin in there, almost won the Las Vegas race. He was very disappointed in the radio, and he knew he could have won that one, the one machine for Chip Ganassi, as they could have gotten both their cars in the chase field here. And there you see, there's the number 19. PJ Williams has been pretty consistent throughout most of the season. He's not running the best right now. Actually, the Gibbs organization itself has improved in their program. They're actually outside the top 20, both the 18 and the 19. They're looking a bit outside, but they're trying to look in as well. Jessica Emery's been a bit stronger in this long run here. The number 44 machine. Remember, Ben Gerhardt drove this same car last year, and they were very competitive, actually. Ben Gerhardt was one of the faster people in the chase, just didn't really have the results to show throughout those 10 races to really be in championship caliber. As there you see Mike Hawk just still doing an impressive job. As Tommy Turbo just dominating this race so far. He's pretty much obliterated the field. Kev Shearer still lurking in second, though. Really strong car in that 41 team. They probably have saved their tires a bit more than Tommy Turbo has. But a couple cars just continuing to struggle here on the racetrack. They have not found their luck here and their handling. As you see Mike Hawk down looking the outside there, but Jessica Emery just dive bombing turn 3. There's Jesse Turner trying to get another top 10 effort here for the 17 team. They have kind of struggled all season. Roush Fenway hasn't found much luck here besides William Duncan's success, but even William Duncan himself isn't running too well. Running a bit outside the top 20 here in 24th. Looking underneath the lap car, Vince Freeze there, 4th position. And that's actually not 4th position, but I just said lap car for example. Precisely. Really, the top 2 have just pulled away. Jonathan Zorlin has a 3-second gap behind the top 2 here, and that's probably going to be 4. As Turner is going to get around Jessica Emery, 4th position here, right? And the number 3, look at Richard Johnson looking through the middle groove here. Charles Sanford peaking low as well. There you see Dylan Schwalmberg also coming into the picture as well. They're all battling for a top 10 spot. There's William Brock in the number 7 Golden Corral machine. Top 10, they could get some for kids could eat free here at Golden Corral. This could be good for that team. Tommy Bone Racing is a bit off of their program like compared to last year with Caitlin Doherty in the number 7, William Brock trying to find that same success they had before. Seth Cole on the bottom of Johnny Gardner here in turns 1 and 2. Looks like Seth Cole's going to take the spot away. And that 80, the Bioshock Ford has not been the fastest on the grid here. They could at least manage in the long run here. Jack James running solid for Ganassi there. Really, the Ganassi cars, like I said, have been a bit off the pace here in this race, but not the strongest cars on the grid. William Duncan now reeling in O'Neal Baldwin for position here. Looking low underneath the one, backs off here. Couldn't get the exit speed properly. Luis Hernandez and not running too well either. Well, gosh, there's Joey Murphy. He's been off the pace throughout most of the race, not with mechanical issues, they just been off in the race trim. Richard Johnson looking underneath Ryder Barnes immediately passes the number 46 with ease. Richard Johnson looks like his car is a bull at the Wood Brothers Racing Team, looking good in the long run here. Dylan Schwalberg reeling his way inside the top 10. He's up to 10th, soon to take 9th away from Jessica Emery if he can get the spot away. As number 20 looking down low, here he comes. And great move for Dylan Schwalberg, the Joe Gibbs car, up to now the 9th position here at Canada. And Kev Shear just continuing to really maintain his gap. They're about even here. The 41 and the 95 are just about the same pace with each other. They've both been running consistent laps. They pulled away from the third place car of Jonathan Zorlin, really on a remote island for the number 5 team. They've been pretty strong these last couple of races, and they definitely want to keep it up because that Panasonic car just looking very strong in the grid order here. Jonathan Rains just trying to get another solid effort into that 38. They are running in the 4th spot. Cody Lamas, the other Hendrick car, running in the 5th position here. Hendrick Motorsports have really been a hit or miss for their cars here. 2 cars can be really fast, but the other 2 are going to be really crap here. As Richard Johnson decided to explore the lines here, going up in the high groove this time around. Jitsi Turner sitting there in the 7th spot. Another good top 10 effort for the 17. Could be good for them in the point standings here. They definitely want to move on up. And Johnson does shove Cody Lamas up the racetrack 3 wide for the 5th position here. This is all for a top 5 here, folks. As Jesse Turner going down low, Lamas up high. Dylan Schwalberg looking into the picture. You see the number 20 machine coming into the picture there, and it's a good battle here for position. Jesse Turner backs off, but Richard Johnson's going to take the spot away from Cody Lamas. Jesse Turner trying to do the exact same thing. Won't make it work on the inside line quite yet. Lamas defends the line well, and he holds on to the 6th spot. But Richard Johnson, I think they've all reeled in the 38 as well. So it looks like Jonathan Rains looks like his tires are going kaput here in the latter half of this stage here, in this race here. But only one caution has happened so far in this race. Nothing really has changed in this track so far. Not much of the conditions really changing, but tire wear's kicking in. Kev Shear looking strong here in this 41. They've gotten some good finishes lately, and I think they definitely want to keep that up at this rate here, because Kev Shear is absolute baller here in the Doublemint Cup Series. He's done a good job so far. Well, Goss did that in the 41 last year, and, well, they know how to keep things up. A 5th at Vegas, I think they did pretty good at Motegi. Definitely had a strong car at Kentucky. Could have won that race, to be exact. They finished around the top. They were finishing the top 5 as well. So Kev Shear was looking good. He got 3rd at Kentucky, actually, to be exact. As he's going to get around the lap car of JT Bryant. JT Bryant just still continuing to struggle with his race car here. Just not what he's been looking at so far. Yep, pretty much Kev Shear just looking very strong this season. He's definitely a contender to look out for. He's actually way up in the marbles there. As they have actually caught a lot of lap cars here. This 95 car just putting an obliterating pace with the RCR affiliate. Doing a good job. Tommy Turbo driving Chris Dodd's team as well. Both of them are pretty much close friends. And they've definitely put some stride in this 95. They could make the chase if they can keep this up. And they are pretty high up in the point standings as well. So Tommy Turbo, not a guy to mess with here on the track. He's very quiet on the radio too. He knows he's got a good car that could compete for a win here. So they definitely are looking strong. Remember, this 95 car was in a Ford last season. And, well, Tommy Turbo knows how to get things done here. And he's actually, when I'm looking at yeah, he's moved up quite a bit. Jeffrey Finguy coming down pit lane. Lots of cars. It looks like the green flag pit stops have actually begun here at Canada. This is going to be quite interesting here. And the chase. They will actually be going to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That's going to be moved to the chase. Lots of cars coming in. And Chris Dodd has lost the car around. And looks like that's going to bring out a caution most definitely there, because Chris Dodd just lost the car there. And that is going to ruin a lot of green flag cycles here. Not what they wanted to see here. Lots of cars are going to be trapped a lap down in this one, and that's going to really change the order here. Let's see, let's just make sure the caution. Yep, there's the pace car there. But yeah, what a tough break for a lot of these drivers. It looked like he tried to commit, but it was too late. He just kind of fishtailed the car around and into the outside wall he went. Seth Cole got pretty lucky. He didn't get swept up in that mess. O'Neal Baldwin does a good job on the high side, and that just basically brings out the caution. And that really changes the order here. It changes everything. Green flag back in the air. Lots of cars that were stuck in pit lane were trapped a lap down, and a couple of them were way on the tail end of the lead lap. And so this is an unfortunate break for a lot of them here. Tommy Turbo trying to hold on to the lead, but there you see Kev Shear down at the bottom of the racetrack there. Lots of cars that were off the pace are trying to get back on the lead lap. Going to try and do so right now. They're going to get aggressive here on the charge here. Kev Shear down the inside. They are 4 wide. Lap cars and lead lap cars alike. There you see Kev Shear down at the bottom of the track. Here he comes down the inside. Kev Shear trying to take the lead away. Trying to bring an upset here. If you look in the spectator cam, this is how close and bunched up the racing is going to get here on the restart with lap cars and lead lap cars. Kev Shear leads the lap. Where's Richard Johnson? He's nowhere to be seen. There he is, actually, trying to get his way back up there as well. Richard Johnson trying to get back up on the charge here. He's up to 3rd, so great run for the number 21 machine. Charles Sanford sitting in the 4th spot, but as you look at the leaderboard here, it changes so quickly. Nick Gunther's actually up to the 4th position now. Seth Cole up to the top 5. He's gotten his way up there because of that. It's a good break for the 80 team. They were actually running inside the top 20 until now, so now they're inside the top 5. But Tommy Turbo just took the lead back from Kev Shear. That 95 car, just a dominant force here. I can't believe it myself, but he's had a dominant car today. He's probably the car to beat by far here in the Doublemint Cup Series. This is going to be quite an interesting battle here. Tommy Turbo, Kev Shear, 1st and 2nd. Then you have Richard Johnson in 3rd. There's a lot of lap cars way back. There's Nick Gunther in the 4th spot. There's Pat Johnson making his way up into the field here. He's trying to get the 4th spot away from Nick Gunther. Gunther blocks. He holds on to 4th. Pat Johnson sitting in 5th. Rain's been running in the top 10 all day. Good run for him. Sanford 7th. And there you see a couple of others making new faces making their way into the top 10 today. Zachary Fitzwater and O'Neal Baldwin running 9th and 10th, with Betty Johnson actually trying to spoil the party here for the BK Racing Team and the Aussie Toyota. Definitely have to do some number formatting, but I think they put that number all the way to the left so they can get that aerodynamics on their car there. And Pat Johnson's just been quietly making his way up. He struggled with the race car in the first half. They made some good adjustments to his car, and they are up in the top 5. Good run for good recovery for Pat Johnson. Nick Gunther, I didn't really see him throughout most of this race so far. He's running now in the 5th spot, as the field looks like they've actually scattered themselves about here. But a lot of drivers that were potentially fast in this race, they are out of contention for the win here, unless a caution comes out, and those that are ahead of them catch a lucky break here, because Tommy Turbo trying to relap some cars again here, as some of them are swept multiple laps down here at the track, and this is costly for them in the point standings. Richard Johnson's just been sitting in 3rd all this race. He's done a good job. He was charging up in the first run. He's trying to charge up in this run yet again. I think he might be faster this time around than Kev Shear. No, he's not actually. He's a bit slower, but he might be faster than the leader at that time around. Lots of drivers using multiple grooves of the racetrack here. Look at Jack James way up high in the racetrack trying to use the outside line. They're trying to use the Kyle Larson line. Doesn't look like it's really effective in turns 3 and 4 for that brief moment there. But lots of them trying to get back trying to hold on for dear life. William Duncan's kind of struggled with his race car all day. They've been kind of off the Roush program at this track. Jesse Turner was strong before getting swept the lap down when the caution came out. He's certainly not going to be happy on the radio there, as all of them that were kind of running near the back of the pack are actually on the lead lap and running in some good points paying positions here that could help them move up or move down in the point standings, but mostly move up. This could be beneficial for them. Johnny Garner's been kind of quiet all race, but he's kind of stuck a lap down as well. Pat Johnson, I've kind of mentioned him quite a lot today. He's still sitting in that 4th spot. You just got to give props to him. He's just grand effort for him. But Tommy Turbo's put on quite a dominating show here. I'm sure a lot of the fans aren't going to be happy with that. But Tommy Turbo's just really paved the way here for Kev Shear and the rest of the field here, as they're kind of back to single file racing. They really haven't found much in this racetrack here. As Kev Shear just trying to get around the lap car soon, trying to get around William Duncan for position here. They've kind of not found much strife in that car. Will Goss kind of running in the back. Ian Dutt has been struggling again this season. He's just not found the success in the Doublemint Cup Series. But he found some in trucks so far. He's found some good luck and good strife in trucks here. Good fortunes. So that's good for him. As Dylan Young, he was way in the back of the pack here early on in the first half. And he's now up in the 9th spot, soon to be 8th if he can get around Jonathan Rains here. The 2-car, the Blue Deuce, looking somewhat solid today. This is a good recovery for him as well. They've made some adjustments as well. They knew their car was really tight in the first half. That's why they couldn't really get much of the exit speed they wanted. And Dylan Young looking to get another good run today here. The Tommy Turbo's really just had a dominating car here. It's not really much to say in this race, but we have about 11 laps to go here at SUAR, or we can just call it Canada, like I said. But Dylan Young just trying to make his way up into the field here. Yet again, he did this at Boston to be exact, and he's done a good job so far, running in 9th. O'Neal Baldwin, the almost won Vegas, was just disappointed at the end. He's in 8th right now. Good run for O'Neal Baldwin, could help them in points as well. As Charles Sanford just really consistent with this 10 machine. Nobody expected that 10 car to be that fast this season. And well, Charles Sanford proving a lot of people wrong. He's been one of the more dominant cars, one of the more faster cars, and one of the front runners to be exact in the Doublemint Cup Series this season. Charles Sanford really impressing the crowd here, as Nick Gunther's been really solid as well, outperforming in the front row motorsports equipment here, and he's doing a good job as well. Nick Gunther, the Atlanta winner, trying to get another win this season, but that isn't really going to be the case here with Tommy Turbo's rate. He's just plain faster. Jonathan Zorlin was running strong early in the race, but now he's pretty much stuck in that, well, bad spot to be exact. He's actually in 20th. Actually, it's not a bad run, but rather not really reflective on his performance so far. Richard Johnson has reeled in Kev Shear here for the 2nd spot. He's definitely a stronger car here. Has the faster car in the number 21 machine, so Richard Johnson just looking very strong on the radar here. He's trying to get a victory this season. He won 2 races last season in the 47 for JTG Doherty, and now he's trying to get a victory here for the Wood Brothers team. Chuck Petty had success in the 21, didn't have much in the chase. And Richard Johnson made it pretty far in the chase rounds last year, and he made it, I believe, all the way except for the round of 4. So I think that really was how far he got in that run. So Richard Johnson was definitely a strong competitor here, and he's trying to maybe repeat that success here. Dylan Schwalmberg, I think, for the only one to really find that success here. He already has a win this season, so he's one of the few drivers to return back into the chase grid yet again. But really, it's Tommy Turbo that's really set the pace here. 5 laps to go here at SUAR. Really not been the best. This has honestly been a really shitty race so far. Tommy Turbo just dominating. He's just obliterated this field. He's led the most laps by far. And really, the guy that started from the pole has pretty much led a lot of this race so far. Richard Johnson looking underneath for 2nd. Good run there out of turn 2. Richard Johnson to P2. just like that. And Pat Johnson he's just been kind of quiet in that 4th spot. Nick Gunther, it's been unchanged for most of the top 10. Dylan Young now looking underneath O'Neal Baldwin for 8th, and he's going to take it away. As a lot of drivers still stuck a lap down, they already know they have fast cars. It's really been a clean race. Only 1 caution has really set it up, or 2 cautions to be exact from what I recall. Actually 2 cautions here on the track. A really clean race. But right now, Tommy Turbo setting the bar with 2 laps to go here. Jonathan Zorlin, he's gone around him, and, well, he's got a 2nd gap over Richard Johnson. Not much there to say. Kev Shear's going to get stuck with another 3rd at this rate. Good run for the 41 team. They really set the bar up for Stuart Haas here, so the 10 and the 10, the 41, the 14 have really set the bar up. Good, they've done an excellent job. Jeffrey Finguy hasn't really found the luck, but the white flag is out. 1 more lap to go here for Tommy Turbo, sponsored by Credit One Bank to be exact. Haha, just kidding. But Tommy Turbo coming to turns number 3 and 4. Tommy Turbo takes the checkered flag here. He wins it here at Canada. And he is going to win. That's just talk about a dominating fashion. He is going to make the chase by far. At the rate he's at, he's going to be high up in points. And this is going to help him quite a lot, as both the CM cars are in the chase here. It's cars number 88 and 95. Tommy Turbo's done it here. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to give props to him. As much as the race sucked balls, he did a good job. Tommy Turbo led the way here. Started basically from the pole, started from the pole there, and he ended up winning the race here. So, not much to lose for Tommy Turbo. He does a good job. He wins it here. As we look at the results here, 1st through 28th, only 17 cars on the lead lap. And a lot of them that were really strong in the first half ended up stuck a lap down because of the spin of Chris Dodd. And I think a lot of them are going to have to talk with him after this one. So, there's 1st through 28th, and then the rest on down here, 29th through 42nd. Only 40 cars were in the stayed in the racetrack there, but a couple of them just couldn't catch a break there at the end, and ended up stuck a lap down and just didn't find their luck they wanted. But like I said, congratulations to Tommy Turbo on making the chase here. He gets his first victory of the season here. Like I said, both the CM Racing cars are in the chase at last, so Chris Dodd certainly wetting his pants. And, well, with that said and done, we'll take a look at the point standings here. Thank you for watching, unless you skip to the end, which I don't really care. But thank you so much for watching, as we'll sign off here and take a look at the point standings here coming after this round.